I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up is the acceptance and correction of minutes. They were sent out this afternoon. Did everybody get a chance to review?
Yep.
Motion?
Make a motion to accept the minutes corrections. What was the date?
January 27th.
January 27th.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Kelly. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, motion passes. Announcements, I don't see any here. Derek?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Next up would be public comment. Is there anybody here for public comment? Come right up, sir.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Cookie?
Do I need to pull that forward, or it's probably good?
Sure, you just state your name and address.
Ryan Templeton, 176 Kennedy Hill Road. So I wrote this out because I'm a little nervous, so.
You got 3 minutes.
Don't
so
worry about
speak
it.
fast.
It'll be less than 3 minutes, yeah. Good evening, members of the Select Board, and thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I want to start, as I did the last time I was here, by expressing my sincere appreciation for the hard work and dedication each of you puts into serving this community. Your leadership is vital, and I'm truly grateful for what you do for our great town. I'm here tonight because I believe that we are facing a serious challenge. A growing division in our town, and I'm sure you're all aware of what I'm talking about. There will always be differences of opinion. That's the nature of a community made up of diverse voices. But what I've seen in our town goes beyond differences of opinion. The hostility that has emerged, especially on social media, is only serving to tear us apart. But there is something that all of us, regardless of where we stand on any issue, we have in common, which is a desire for peace, respect, and ultimately happiness. We want to live in a town where we are heard, where we feel valued, and where we can disagree without turning on each other. As we all know, democracy is a blessing. We are incredibly fortunate to live in a country and a town where we have the right to make decisions through our votes. Democracy is ultimately how we decide what happens in Goffstown. None of the anger, the insults, or the vitriol will change that fact, and at the end of the day, it will be democracy that decides. All the negativity that we see, whether it's online or in person, only serves to divide us. It doesn't change the outcome, and it doesn't move us forward. It just weakens the bonds that hold us together as a community. I ask that we all remember this. Our differences are part of what makes us who we are, but they shouldn't tear us apart. Let's have those debates, those discussions, but let's do so with respect and with the understanding that in the end, we are all striving for the same goal, a better Goffstown. My desire and duty is to be a peacemaker. As our trusted leaders, I ask the Select Board to join me in leading this effort. Speak to the people around you. Let them know that enough is enough. Let's set an example in how we speak and how we listen. Let's strive for a Goffstown that values unity over division and respect over hostility. We may not always agree, but we can always treat each other with dignity. Once again, thank you for your service. I'm confident that with your leadership, over time, we can heal the divisions in our town and come together to create a community where everyone's voice is heard, respected, and valued. Thank you very much.
Well said, Brian.
Thank you. Well said.
Very much.
Don't get stuck there. Is there anybody else here for public comment?
If there's a
comment about engine braking would now be the time?
Not yet, we'll have a public hearing at 6:30 for that.
Okay.
You'll be able to participate in the public hearing when that time comes.
Gotcha, never done this before.
Anybody else? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Public comment. Derek, you want to start in on town administrator's report?
Sure, tab 7A, you have the committee meeting scheduled for the next 2 weeks. There is one addition that was not when we put this together. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, there will be a sewer commission meeting at 6 PM.
I get it.
Okay. Thursday of this week, 7 PM, the planning board will be in this room.
Yeah, I have it.
Next week, just a reminder that Town Hall, Parks and Rec, and DPW offices are closed on Monday in observance of Washington's birthday. The transfer station will be closed on Saturday, February 15th. Next week, on Wednesday at 6 PM, the Goffstown River Advisory Committee will meet at Town Hall, room 106.
Yeah, I have that.
At 7 PM, the Parks and Rec Commission will be at the Parks and Rec building on South Mass Road.
I get it.
And that's it. The candidates' night is next Wednesday as well, on Wednesday the 19th.
What, 7?
I believe it's at 7. I'll get confirmation of that and email that. It's usually at 7, but we'll get confirmation. At your next page, you have your consent agenda. Employee status reports. You have a full-time DPW truck driver. This is a differential incentive for Road Scholar Level 1. You have a full-time DPW equipment operator, demotion to truck driver. Full-time DPW laborer, promotion to truck driver. There's actually 2 of those. One was added today. You have a per diem EMT new hire, a per diem firefighter 1 EMT new hire, and a full-time firefighter. This is a promotion from part-time to full-time. And then you have an event permit for Goffstown Junior Baseball Little League Opening Day Parade on Saturday, April 26th at 8 AM.
Motion to approve the consensus agenda as presented this evening.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Jim. Is there any discussion? I just have one question, and that is on status report, the second one down. I have a real question on that when I read what that said. I don't know if we want to take it up.
We can take it up in non-public if you want. Do you
Yeah,
want
I
to pull
would.
that specific one out?
Yeah,
So we'll
please.
pull out the demotion to truck driver, pull that off the
Right.
consent? Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Anybody have a problem with that, Mark? Since you made the motion.
Yeah, I'm all set. Yep, no problems.
Derek, on the calendar, when's candidates night? Isn't that?
Wednesday.
February 19th.
The 19th, that's.
Yes,
all.
it's
Okay.
not, yeah, it's not shown on your
Yeah.
meeting
Yeah.
schedule, but yes.
Thank you.
So we had a motion by Mark and seconded by Jim, and there was something we pulled out. Any discussion, further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion passes.
At your next page, you have recommendations from the assessor. This is a 2024 tax year report of timber cut and a timber tax warrant for map 2, lot 2-21. And the assessor recommends approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the assessor's recommendations as presented.
Second.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Collis. Any discussion on this? Questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion passes.
At tab 7D, you have a memo from the Public Works Director. You have in your packet, and there's individual tabs for each of these, you have RFPs for 2025 street sweeping, roadside mowing, catch basin cleaning, and granite curbing. These are all submitted to the Select Board for approval so that they can be advertised and we can seek out bids for these items.
So those are separate, but we can take them all in one fell swoop.
You can take them all in one, yes, unless you had any changes that you wanted to make.
All right, then I'll make the motion to approve the RFPs for the 2025 street sweeping, roadside mowing, catch basin cleaning, and granite curbing as submitted for approval.
Second.
A motion by Collis, seconded by Mark. Any further discussion, questions on this one? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, motion passes.
At tab 7E, there's a memo regarding the 2025 Voters Guide. I also emailed members a digital copy, and we had one printed copy in the meeting. So we're just looking
Kelly's got it
for,
right here.
yep, we were just looking for if there are any comments or changes that need to be made. We're waiting on the school. They've provided their first set of information, and we've provided them with a draft for review, but we'd like to get this to the printer by the end of the week so that we can get the prints next week.
Kelly, do you have a question?
I just, for the fire apparatus CRF, I was thinking about, there has consistently been question on what a CRF is. And, I mean, the appropriate explanation is in here, but I'm wondering if we can add something. It says for the purpose of purchasing fire apparatus while avoiding spikes in tax rates. So I'm wondering if we can add something that says it's to save money over a more consistent period of time, or something like that, because purchasing fire apparatus, but the point of the account is really to save incrementally. You know what I mean? Like, this is just something that's come up quite a
Yeah,
bit.
we can
Like a
definitely
save-
add a,
Like
we
a
can add a
savings
bullet
account.
in there to explain what a CRF is.
Like
I'm
a
sure-
savings account?
Yeah.
Like
So
a
we're trying to
savings
spread-
account?
Spread it
that-
out over time.
Right.
I
Yep.
thought that the explanation of the unassigned fund balance was really good, how we did, like, we took questions that we've heard over and over again.
I did too.
So I don't know that we necessarily need something as in-depth about a CRF, but I think it's important to explain, like, yeah, anyways.
Yeah, and we've got plenty of room on that page, so we can definitely add in
Add a
a
little-
small box and get some of, New Hampshire Municipal Association has some good publications that answer some of those questions, so we can get some of that.
My other question was the graphic with Article 13 for the road plan funding.
Yeah,
I was thinking about when we send out the voters' guides to people's homes, it's not typically in color.
correct.
So I'm wondering if there's a way for this table, if we could like number these to kind of show the like 1, 2, 3. I don't know if there's a different way we can.
Great, Sham.
So typically what we've done is we've used some of the black and white patterns
Yeah.
that are available, and we've done it that way. So we have the online version that does have the
Right.
colored ones, but usually when we're doing that, we try and pick ones with high contrast, so they do have high contrast,
Okay.
or we'll use some type of pattern, whether it's like a crosshatch, or we can do that.
Perfect, as long as we could see it.
Yep.
And then I noticed this between Article 14 and 15. I just think the Article 15 says Cable Access Revolving Fund is the title, but that's not correct. This is the solar.
Oh, is that the wrong
energy.
title on it?
Yeah.
Okay, I can check that.
On
Yep.
15. And then, also, I don't know if we should mention in here that I mean, should we put something about the wording, that we didn't edit the wording, or we didn't, like the town didn't
So I
make
can,
changes?
so on the petition articles,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can put a bullet that indicates that the town has not edited those. The other thing we've done is GTV has taken the entire video and they've created chapters for each article. So what we're gonna do is provide a link for each article, that if people wanna go back and watch the deliberative session, they can get a link to the actual, where that chapter starts.
Okay. Yeah, there's some interesting language in these two that, for example, like it says, the study would include but is not limited to the following departments: Town Hall, Police, Fire, Library, Department of Public Works, and Parks and Recreation, which is all of our departments. So I want to make sure that people don't think that this is in any way connected with the school, or that, the sewer enterprise fund is separate. I mean, I don't know, it's, some of these sentences are a little bit confusing, so I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, we can pull the language right out of the state law that says that there's not to be edits.
Okay, thank
Yes.
Okay, kind of,
6:15.
yeah, it's 6:50, we have a public hearing, we'll come right back to this.
Okay, I'll wait.
Pursuant to RSA 41:9-A, the Goffstown Select Board is holding its public hearing to accept public input on proposed update to the town's master fee schedule. Copies are available for any residents attendance on the town's website. Derek, did you want to go ahead?
So I provided this at your previous meeting. Again, departments went through and made recommended changes. One of the big things that we heard throughout the budget process was that the budget committee was concerned that we may not be receiving as much revenue as some similar towns. So we did look at the cost, because again, fees are not meant to make a profit, they're really to cover the cost of the actual service that's being rendered. If you start on page 3 of your packet, we've got some updates of the changes to square footage or to all the building permit fees. One new item in here would be a non-refundable building permit application fee. We've had a handful of refunds, mostly solar projects, where people come in, they pay for the whole permit, and then they abandon the project, and we refund them the full amount. There is still quite a bit of staff time to review those permits, make sure they meet the codes, and then type up the permits. So that's why we're proposing a non-refundable building permit application fee of $25 that would be applied against the balance. On your next page, we do have one change to increase the cost for the permit for an above-ground pool from $35 to $50. On IT, one of the new items that we have there is our preference is whenever we have somebody that requests a large amount of digital information through the right to know law, when we're unable to send it as an email, when it's too large, we can put that on a thumb drive. Our preference is to use a new unopened thumb drive that we provide rather than taking staff time to scan it for viruses and everything. So there would be the cost for that. On your next page, the police department has made some changes to their special detail rate with slight increases there, as well as the wages paid to those special detail officers. The fire department had no changes except on page 9. They did make a change to their special detail. They specifically want to remove the 3-hour minimum. Their vendor rate has a minimum of 4 hours for a special detail, and previously they had a 3-hour minimum for SAU and nonprofits. They would like to remove that 3-hour minimum for SAU and nonprofits. Again, the fire staff or the ambulance staff that have to work those have quite a long checklist that they have to do to check, especially for the ambulance, where they're checking all the supplies, all the medical supplies, and the vehicle before and after. This again passes that cost along to the entity that needs a special detail. DPW had no recommended changes at this time. And then on page 12 of the packet, or page 10 of the fees, Parks and Rec had some minimum updates as well. And then some of their program fees, as well as their field rentals for the season. And then lastly, we had proposed a non-refundable portion of the registration fee. Again, it's not an additional or a new fee, but this just be a portion of the fee would be non-refundable if somebody chose to not do it again. So, and we've got Rick at the back. I'm here, can answer questions, and then
Anybody got any questions?
I think I asked all 9 already.
Huh?
I said I think I asked all 9 already.
Yeah.
Derek, the only one that I wanted to ask, actually, I lied. I said that and then immediately had a question. For the fire, for EMS,
yeah.
Page 9.
Yeah. Nope, it's on there. Okay. Never mind. I answered the question. I just had to look at it again. Thank you.
All right, and this goes to when?
So this is a public hearing tonight, so you would open the public hearing, take any
Right.
comments from the public. You do have the ability to vote on this evening.
This one can go this evening,
Yep.
okay. So I will open the public hearing on the fee schedule. Is there anybody here that'd like to comment? Or- Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. You want to go ahead and take a vote on it now?
Yes, that'd be great.
You want to make a motion?
Make a motion to,
I
town,
thought-
the town master fee schedule is proposed this evening.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Jim. Any discussions, questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, motion passes. Okay, let's go back to voter's guide.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can wait if anyone else has anything to add.
Does it need to say anywhere that it's advisory only? On the ones that are advisory only?
Oh, I think, are you referring to, I guess it would be the petition articles, because they're not statutory language. If the board wanted to, you could. We haven't historically, when we've had advisory petitions in the past that, aren't a statutory requirement, and even when we had the petition article for Station 17 study and the funds tied to that, we didn't put it on that, so.
Well, the only reason I say that is I think it would eliminate questions in the future. Well, why didn't you do this? We passed a law that said, or passed a rule that said we were going to do it, but not really. It was only advisory. I'm just wondering if that, to avoid any questions or confusion, that if we put it on there. But if we don't think you need it, we haven't in the past.
This is your voter's guide, so if that's if what we could do is we could put in that the select board views this as an advisory article, and it will be taken up by the select board, if approved by the voters, will be taken up by the select board elected to serve after, town meeting.
So it's advisory and non-binding. So what's
Yeah.
Well,
the
I mean,
information in there?
yeah, also the warrant article says to authorize the select board to do something that we already have the authority to do. So, yeah, in and of itself, it's kind of calling that out.
Anything else?
I already made my comments about the confusing language in the first one, the confusing language, just to note in the second one to shall the town direct the town manager. So it's things like that I don't want to confuse people.
Yep.
With that little notation that we didn't change any language or, whatever the appropriate.
Yeah, I can say
DRA
basically the
would be.
select board did not change the language of the article, and we can point to RSA, I think it's 32.9, or whatever the appropriate one that has to deal with petitions.
Yeah, thank you. Ooh, 39.3, you were so.
39.3. 32 is the budget law, 39 is town meeting. Yep.
Okay, that's all I had.
Anybody else? Jim?
No, I think I'm okay. So are we gonna change anything on 16?
So I would put in additional language indicating that the select board did not change the language of the petition articles, and they put it on with minor. I think we made a couple minor typographical one. There was one that was pointed out at the deliberative session, so we did correct that. But I would indicate that the law does not allow the select board to, do an overhaul of the language
So it's as presented by the.
as presented by the petitioners. I need to check the titles between Articles 14 and 15, and then make sure the graph on Article 13, the road plan funding, as well as what I get from the school, looks appropriate in both black and white and color.
It can be difficult.
Yep.
And then the addition to some additional language on the CRF.
Yes, yep, I've got that here as well.
Okay, now I'm okay. All right.
That was all I had.
Collis?
I'm good, thank you.
Cal, you all set now?
Yep.
Mark?
Good.
Okay, I'm good, so let's take a vote. Can we make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the voter guide with the changes that.
With corrections we made tonight, changes.
Second.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Jim. Any further discussion or questions?
I just had a question.
Go ahead.
What do we, when do we propose, or when do we think this will be coming out, and what's the date for mailing? Do you know?
We usually, so I'll have to reach out, we have Concord Monitor has done the printing, as long as I've done it. And we typically end up about the middle of next week. We'll get the actual newspaper ones. We'll get it up on the website, and then we tend to send it out usually that last week of February, so people have about 2 weeks to have it at their homes. Catherine has to go through and make sure all the residential routes have because by pre-sorting it, we save a little bit of money.
If you could just send us an email when it's on the website. I
Yes.
would appreciate that. Thank
Okay.
you.
We can put it up. Once it's on the website, we can let people know also. Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Made by Kelly, seconded by Jim. Any further discussion, questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion passes.
At tab 7F, there was a change at the deliberative session to reduce the petition article that previously had an appropriation of $50,000 for the operational efficiency study. It changed it to $0 to authorize the select board to commission a third-party operational efficiency study. Does the select board wish to revisit the recommendation that will appear on the ballot?
I'm good with it.
Our recommendation is 0, right?
Your recommendation, so it was not
Not to
recommended by the
recommend.
select
Yeah,
board,
okay.
5 to 0 to 0. The budget committee did change their recommendation. They changed it as a recommend by the budget committee by a vote of 10 to 2 to 1.
What was it before?
It was to not recommend, it was unanimous to not recommend, because there was some confusion, you may recall, at the budget public hearing.
There was a dollar amount to it, and they didn't.
Yep, yep.
That's why they didn't want it before. Now there's no dollar amount to it, so,
Right.
good. All right.
So if you're okay, we'll just leave the vote as is.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I had for the town administrator's report.
Probably start reading for the public.
Yeah, I'm going to. I just gotta get to that page.
We're at tab 6A.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, all right.
Pursuant to RSA 41:14-B, the Goffstown Select Board is holding this public hearing to accept public input on the proposed amendment to the town's noise prevention ordinance. This is the first of 2 public hearings. The second public hearing is scheduled for Monday, February 24th at 6:30 PM. A vote is scheduled for Monday, March 10th. Copies are available for residents in attendance and on the town's website. So I will open up the public hearing, and I think you wanted to speak? Sure. Come on up.
Okay.
When you come up, please state your name and address.
My name is Eddie Grogan. I live at 5 South Mass Street. And I just wanted to say that I read about the engine braking thing. And I am 100% for it. There's a lot of traffic in front of my house. I'm aware of that. I'm aware when I bought the house, but The brakes are super loud. I get why they use them, but it is like almost to the level of noise pollution in that pocket. They wait right before they go around the corner, and then it's like super loud. Sometimes I'm talking to a client, and I have to like hold them on because I can't understand what they're saying. And that's when there's somebody in the shop, and when I'm on the phone, it's the same thing. It's just loud. It's not like it's once or twice. It's like all day long. So I get it, but if there's like some signs you could put up, a no engine brake sign or something, like we have a seasonal in Alfred, Maine, and it's a similar thing where there's a lot of colonial houses. They're right on the road. It's busy, and I noticed that they have some no engine braking signs there, and it hit me. I was like, And I did email someone here, but I don't know who it was, but it was a while ago. And then the police department contacted me and said it was a planning thing, so here we are. But I'm just all for it, and I'd love to see it. There's families, there's children, and there's like, it's just super loud.
Okay,
So that's all.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Come up to speak? Come right up, sir.
Hi.
Hello. Name and address?
My name is Jay Davini. I live at 26 South Mast Street. I wasn't planning on speaking, but I figured it was worth noting that I've been in my house for about 17 years. And like Eddie here, the traffic was there when I bought the house. But the increase in the engine brake noise is getting ridiculous. I understand why they use them, and I understand it's a busy road, but when you live right there in the village, and we're talking, what is it, a mile stretch? It's 25 miles an hour. But we hear them from the roundabout coming, this way, and it's just ba 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 as they pass the house. It's I think it's a violation of the current noise ordinance, frankly, but I think signs restricting engine brakes would be helpful, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Anybody else?
Brandon Nault, 163 Patty Hill Road. I'm a small business owner in this town. I have a truck myself. I agree with the engine brakes and the noises, but it all goes back to they've went through a federal inspection at some inspection station. Why are some trucks louder than others with their engine brakes? I get what you guys are saying, but it's also saving lives. And I totally understand about people being rude and not thinking about townspeople. And why is it just all of a sudden become right now in the town, the noise? Is it just like, is it certain trucks? Do you guys know which ones that is?
No, I
You
don't
probably
know which
do.
trucks, but it's like, a lot of the ones that are moving real heavy stuff, it seems like.
Yeah.
Let's keep the conversation coming this
Yeah.
way.
I just wanna know, cause I kinda have a good idea which trucks are which, and the cops should be pulling those trucks over. You can't tell me that they can't. I don't wanna suffer for somebody else being foolish and disrespectful. I've lived in town all my life, 43 years here. And trucks have been through here, we all know it. It is what it is, and yes, it is getting crazy, but these trucks are getting inspected and passing, and the New Hampshire DOT should be pulling them over too, as well as the town cops. So I respect everybody's opinion about everything and how the noise and all that stuff, but I don't want to be blamed. And Mountain Road in Goffstown, I think it said something about that. If you're not using an engine brake coming down Mountain Road, either somebody's going to get in a serious accident and get hurt due to the brakes heating up. So I don't know. There's got to be more to it. I mean,
You should grab one of those, a copy of this,
We have
Brandon.
drafts up here.
oh, this one?
Because
Yeah, I think if I.
there is some room in there for like Mountain Road and,
Oh, there is?
yeah, I mean,
Obviously, yeah, for an emergency, I think one of the harder things that we're dealing with is how is this enforceable, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The police department, they would need a decibel reader, so in my personal opinion, the signs are more of a courtesy, like, hey, if you don't need to use this.
No,
please
I
don't
totally
use it.
agree.
So I think for all of us, we're trying to hear both sides of everyone's perspective, so I definitely appreciate that.
But those trucks, the decimal meter doesn't pertain to those trucks,
Right,
a commercial
Yeah.
vehicle. So there is, if they have factory mufflers, and we all know that some of those trucks
that's,
are not having factory mufflers, and that's where it boils down to either New Hampshire Department of Transportation coming out. I don't even want to say it because I'm a truck driver, I'm an owner operator, but it's like we don't need, we're drawing attention to this situation, and it's, yes, it needs to be addressed, but
you're right, if somebody's running without exhaust and a 6-inch pipe and using their
engine brake,
engine brake, it's,
that's a
you're gonna
complete,
hear it all through town.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear it at my house and it irritates the crap out of me, and I'm a truck driver. It's like, a little courtesy goes a long way.
Sure.
Carlos knows, he hears it at his house.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of a first step.
Yep.
Towards that sort of resolution.
Yep,
But in order to get there, we have to have something to enforce against, and
Yes.
this provides the framework.
yeah, so, like I said, I agree with what you're saying about the noise. It is out of control, and truck traffic is getting more and more. I mean, the pits are here, so.
Got it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing no one else, we'll close the public hearing on this. And again, like I said earlier, we'll be taking it up again in 2 weeks, and then on the, I think it was the 10th, we'll be taking a final vote on it.
Can I
Yep,
ask a question?
go ahead.
That's something I just heard. If the police want to check trucks, violating the ordinance, do they have a tool to determine whether it violates the
Decibel meter,
ordinance?
decibel meter.
I don't believe it, like, I don't know,
So
Brandon.
our noise ordinance does not provide for a decibel level.
Right.
What this would say is, when you're using engine braking under, normal operations, and it's not a life-saving, to stop a crash or something like that, then you shouldn't be using it.
So just using it would violate it
Correct.
most of the time?
Yeah, we don't
unless there's
actually have a
exception.
decibel level.
So you don't need a decimal?
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But you gotta consider, as Mr. Nault mentioned, that somebody coming down Mountain Road with an excavator on the back of his truck needs to have the ability to use the engine brake.
Yeah.
Same thing, even, I don't call us, you don't like it by your house, but
Coming down Patty Hill to that nasty intersection.
Right.
If
You-
you gotta
you-
stop, you gotta stop.
Right, and if you're carrying something like a dozer or an excavator or a rock truck or something, you need to be able to use that brake.
logging trucks
Yeah.
that come
You know,
So
down.
there's
that's fine.
flexibility enough so the
Right.
police can make a
But-
decision? Okay.
To be honest with you, I don't know, if I reached out to some truck drivers and some construction companies here locally, and there's a few that they believe are violating it and are impacting this ruling, and they're not happy about it either, so. Anything else? Seeing none, okay, we'll move on to new business.
You actually
I'm sorry.
have, there's 2 more ordinances.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yep.
No parking. Let me find that one.
Is that 6B,
What page?
22?
Pursuant to RSA 41:14-B, the Goffstown Select Board is holding this public hearing to accept public input on a proposed adoption of a new ordinance prohibiting parking on Albert Street, Gosh Street, Higgins Street, and Plummer Street during school hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., and 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. This is the first of 2 public hearings. The second public hearing is scheduled for Monday, February 24th at 6:30 p.m. A vote is scheduled on March 10th. Copies are available for residents here in attendance and at the town's website. Is there anybody here who'd like to speak to this?
No, I don't want to speak. I spoke last time.
Okay,
They weren't happy with what I
He's,
had to say.
no, we weren't, that's not true.
I'll speak.
Go right ahead.
It's.
Your name and address, please.
Sure. Linda LaPlante,
Okay,
19 Cross Street, the intersection where it's a real big problem.
where the problem is.
I just wanted to, one comment, I went online, and the meeting online, it says it's scheduled for the 25th, so I don't know if you want, I have printouts, so I don't know if you want to check that.
We can correct that.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, because I thought it was a little unusual, normally it's
No,
on
it's-
Mondays.
right.
All right. And other than yay, I think it needs to go in, sooner the better. It's been reduced a little bit right now because of the snowbanks, so we're only seeing about 4 or 5 cars there still parking, even with the snowbanks. So it makes the street even worse. If we still had the 20 cars in the afternoon, it would be impossible for anyone to go by. But the sooner we can get those signs up, the better, and we appreciate it.
Got like 3 more weeks.
I hope so. That's it.
All right, thank you very
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Anybody else here would like to speak?
I guess I will speak to the issue.
Ah, man, we thought we got away with it.
I live across the street from them on Higgins. Doug DeCosta, 16 Higgins Street. So it's right at the intersection of Cross and Higgins. And I didn't realize this prior, but on Higgins, between my house and the back of the school, there are 2 signs. Say, no parking, okay? And in general, no one's parking there, which is, I'm kind of shocked. Because you're proposing, or we're proposing, that you put them in on the intersection on both sides. And so I'm just want to say that it obviously works because they're not parking in front of my house and they're not parking anywhere on Higgins. Although we did see a truck parked not on my side, but on the opposite side of Higgins. But it was only once. It wasn't the habitual offenders that we see so often. So I just personally didn't think it was going to be effective. But after further review, it appears it has been effective. I've noticed the signs that you have up by the high school. They're kind of interesting the way they're placed, because I use that as a sneak to get over to the grocery store from the library. It's my second home. And their signs are going away from town, are further beyond the high school. Of course, I don't come the other way, so I don't know if there's others closer to the high school. But also, it also seems to be effective because I don't find, at least the times that I'm going through there, which is 2 o'clock is, I don't know when school gets out, but probably just beyond that. And probably most high school students are driving themselves if they're not taking the bus. I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there anybody else who'd like to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Now we're going to go to our next one. Pursuant to RSA 41:14-B, the Goffstown Select Board is holding a public hearing to accept public input on the proposed adoption of a new ordinance to install a stop sign on Bryan Road at the intersection of Back Mountain Road. This is the first of 2 public hearings. The second public hearing is scheduled for Monday, February 24th at 6:30 p.m. A vote is scheduled for Monday, March 10th. Copies are available for residents in attendance and at the town's website. Is there anybody here to speak to this?
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
Unbeknownst to me, the highway department placed a stop sign at the end of Higgins as it crosses Cross. Just, I hear the banging, they installed the sign, and they disappeared. I'm not sure why it wasn't there to begin with, or why it was there, but I don't recall seeing any notification that was gonna happen. And that happened probably a year ago.
Okay, so we've posted a public hearing on this specific item, so is there anybody here to speak to the stop sign on Bryan Road? Seeing none, we'll close that public hearing.
Can I just answer?
Go ahead.
So the Higgins Street we do have all of our traffic ordinances on the town website. And just looking here, that stop sign was approved by the select board in 2021. So that was a change that was made at that time in 2021.
And the only interesting part of that, I can't believe it was more than a year ago. It could be 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's not close to 2021.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anybody have any new business? Okay, we'll move on to old business.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you guys for coming.
Good night, folks. Thank you.
Any updates on any of these?
So we did receive in, if you're looking at your action matrix, we did receive in 3 bids for the police station feasibility study. The police chief and myself are currently reviewing those, and we'll be bringing forward a recommendation to you in the future.
Okay. Okay, well, we're working for that one from Firehouse Subs. TAP grant went in, and they was found, and then we had some wood chipper, GPD car out of service. It's a warranty job, an ambulance 2, warranty repairs, anticipated short out of service time. Anything else? Anybody got anything?
I would just say kudos to the highway department for doing a good job this last storm.
That was fast.
They
They
did
were
a very
pretty
good
quick.
job, got out there and cleaned the roads up.
We got another one coming this week.
Yep.
Public, non-public, Dirk?
Yes, it would be under A, discipline, and B, hiring.
Okay. Mark, you making that motion?
Yep.
Mark made the motion, seconded by
Me.
Jim. That'll conclude our public portion of the February 10th, 2025 meeting. We'll be going into non-public.